YouTube? So I'm looking to see, I just got an overloaded processor there. Whatever that was. Yeah, so a bit of a change from the usual vaporizer vids. I might turn it on later on though. So this is a concept I remember about, would it be last 2 years ago at Download. Wayne had one of those wee red guitars, which, yeah, it's there. One of these wee red guitars that comes with a speaker in it. And he's like, yeah, no, it's up here. I had this great idea. And he's like, you can put a Les Paul neck on it and it works. It's like, scale length. To be honest, when he played it, it sounded just like, no way, it does actually work. It looks terrible. It's like, so this is this one, and basically this is I'm building two of these consecutively. This is the one Wayne's got, which is actually slightly smaller than this one, and this is it's a Warlock but Les Paul scale neck, and it fits on without even having to move the bridge. Madness. This one is, I don't know if you remember, pal Ronnie bought a crazy looking flying V thing which had a pedal in it from the 70s, which didn't work. Kind of where I got the idea for putting pedals in guitars, and this is the neck off it, and it's got mad. It's completely destroyed. Someone has had a machine shop with that guitar and made stuff so that the neck's actually got, like, you know, in IKEA in beds where you get like the metal bit that goes through and it's got a thread in it. You put a bolt in from the side. There's two metal rods, big thick, 10mm diameter steel threaded rods running in the inside of the neck, and then they're actually bolted with Allen bolts on, so it's not coming off. I did have to obviously do a wee bit of carving to make this fit in, but this is fender length, and I had to move the bridge from there to there, which is just as well it was this one, because if you try and put a fender one on this, that bridge is already sitting there. There's not really anywhere for it to go, whereas this one had a wee bit more body. You can see it's just slightly bigger. Yeah, so this is just one of those wee shitey 22-inch scale guitars, which I've had a few of them through. I stopped buying them because it's not worth the amount of effort it takes to make them play, and then at the end they're worth 30 quid because nobody really cares whether. So one that works, that you spent ages on making, and it's because they're such short scale, you have to be really much more accurate with everything. It's like the opposite of doing a bass. With a bass, it's like, you're a couple of millimeters out. It's a bass, it'll be fine. Whereas on the really short scale, it's like you have to be absolutely pure. Half a millimeter out anywhere, and it just sounds awful. So yeah, so it's got a built-in speaker. This one's got a switch, that one doesn't. So it turns it on, and the only microphone it's on is that, and I hope you can actually hear it. I did drill a hole in the back of it because Wayne said it made it louder. So noise comes out the back and the front. But and it does boil down to if you were having a jam just like sitting about with nobody playing any. Okay, it's not as loud as an acoustic, but I mean it's for a campfire or something. Aye. Oh, I mean you can. It's loud enough. It's okay. It's a little bit twangy sounding. This one has a neck pickup. So as in, here's the speaker. Here's the neck. It's also got a hot rod paint job on it, which is pretty cool. That one's got a bridge pickup. But I've been buying hot reels off thing. I'm wondering if rather than a cheapy single coil, is a hot reel just going to be better because it's a humbucker and going to be louder? And I'm obviously putting a rat pedal or something in it would be fantastic. They are only like a tenner, but I just don't think there's physically enough room to actually anywhere in the guitar to put a pedal in it. It's just too wee. Well, this one's Ronnie's, but in my one, which is just that, again, it's just that wee bit smaller, but I mean, it's just hideous with that big, long headstock. Yeah, I don't know, I think, I mean, it plays alright, but the thing is, once you take away everything, this guitar had a decent neck on it, and I put the bridge in the right place and bolted the neck on really strongly, so kind of knew it was going to be good. got a really curved fingerboard on it. I had to make a nut. Really annoying. A pal goes fishing. He's just upgraded from a Black Star Fly, which was his going fishing rig. He said it's just annoying because it's so big, and I agree. I don't even know what it is. There's a box that's that size. No, up there. But it's that wide. It's like that wee orange thing I've got, the one that clips onto your belt. In so many ways better because you can kind of put that in your pocket. This, it doesn't go in any pockets, so it's just like, well, obviously we take it in the box, but the amp's the same size. So he's taking, he's got this wee spark thing, and he's sitting there and trying. And it's like basically what you actually want is just to pick up the guitar and then just turn it on, and it's on. And it's a relatively pleasant sound. It's quite tinny, but it's all the notes are there. It's got some. I don't know whether you would put a tone wave or. If you turn the volume down to 9, it can actually be a bit like the tone control. There's no treble bleed in this one. I bet this would be fantastic for playing along with an acoustic bass. I mean, it's pretty easy to play as well. Not really for the metal. But it does plug in. I plugged it into the tuner, but I don't know if it's actually managed to hold tune. It's not had a. I don't know. It's never been in tune before because it's one of those wee stupid. The next line about somewhere. Try and work out something to do with that. So it goes into the tuner. So that means I'm thinking it probably goes into the amp, so I can move on to the vaporizer. Although probably, I'd imagine it's going to sound a little bit twangy. It's like, the vaporizer's really good at showing you what all different guitars sound like, so I'd imagine this one's going to sound shite. Well, let's see. Did it do anything? No. It doesn't quite have the jangle of like the hand-built custom guitars, but I mean, I think the only thing I can really think is not quite right here is the pickup. I'm not super happy with the string break angle and these crappy bridges. I think what I might do is drill it through so I can through-string it like a Telecaster, because actually this saddle's moving a little bit because there's not enough down pressure on the... That sounds alright. That does sound like the orange and rat pedal then. See if it does rock. I think to be honest, it totally will. It would be nice to, but the thing is, I think maybe I might wire in one of the rat pedals into the internal speaker just to see what it does. It might just give you a bit more, like even if it's just the filter that works, that might be. hundreds of pounds worth of amplifier and go back to, I bet it sounds really quiet now. No, I'm sitting here looking at it, and see, because I moved the, you don't know, you can really see because it's a, but see, because I moved the bridge, obviously the bridge used to be kind of there, so there was only enough room for the pickup and the speaker and then the bridge, but now I've actually got room. I could wonder if I could put another pickup in there. Did I put a hot rail in there and a hot rail in there just to boost it to the max? Maybe. Well, this one isn't mine, so I'll see what Roy thinks. But to be honest, I don't think he actually wants the guitar. I think he was just like laughed when I said, I want to do something with that flying V-neck. Like, well, I've got this idea. But I mean, I don't see why this isn't a good idea for a guitar to take, like fishing or camping or something. I mean, because it plays pretty good, and then volume-wise, I really noticed that when we were jamming in the tent at Download, Wayne was playing his wee red one of these, and it's like he wasn't too quiet. It wasn't like pure, oh, you can't really hear you. You could totally hear him. You could totally hear him because he was playing a different song to me, but that also makes a big difference if you're near the speaker. It's a pity a Strat neck would fit this one, but I just think you're just out of the ballpark. That I'm sure I tried to do it before, it didn't work. On this slightly smaller one, as you can see, it's just, I shouldn't be wearing a black t-shirt, but you see, it's just that wee bit weird, just physically the body. So I think you would need to get a Les Paul scale neck if you were going to build one of these. The problem being, obviously, that all the, I don't know, in Scotland anyway, I think probably Britain, all the cheap shitty guitars you get are Strats. If you flat up here, oh, here's a guitar on Facebook Marketplace for £30, it's going to be a Strat or a nylon string acoustic, but it's not going to be you're not going to get a bolt-on Les Paul or something like that, I don't think. Or not anywhere like as easily. I mean, I just think this almost makes sense. It kind of never, these guitars never made sense to me. Well, they made sense in the respect of they're trying to make an electric guitar for kids that parents can buy their kids from Argos for 50 or 60 quid or whatever it is, and it doesn't need any amp and that. You plug it in and you can sort of tune it and make a noise with it, but you're never ever going to learn to play on one because the scale length's too short and the strings just don't work. The only way you're going to do it is if you tune it up. If you tune it up to A, it can hold tuning, but okay, you're just going to learn all the chords where you're playing in A though, so you're basically playing like you've got a capo in the fifth. You know, it's like, oh, this one's an E, and it's actually an A. Like, what? So you're going to be playing different. You're never going to learn that way. Or you can put thicker strings on it, but even then, when you do that, you have to get somebody in there to do your nut for you and to set it up pure perfectly because it's just small, thick strings. Whereas 25-inch scale, or at least decent scale. Perfect. And I'm just getting more used to the sound of it. This has obviously never been a guitar before, so the more I play it, the more it's becoming a guitar again. And it just, the way it's set right here, right now, if it had, well, maybe a little bit more like that, had more of a three-a-side, stumpier headstock, or maybe a more reduced size one, maybe even just this, but just a smaller headstock, it would be a totally viable guitar. Mind you, the headstock was kind of cool. Oh, the frets are terrible there. Oh, there's a big bit of binding missing, that's why. Yeah. But there's the only guitar I can think of that's really, there was a guitar called a Terminator, which I've seen a few of them over the years. They look like they're going to be shit, but it's a Strat, it's called a Terminator, and it's got a speaker like this in it. But they're never expensive, or they're just that wee bit, they're never 20 or 30 quid. It's like 120 quid for something you kind of know is going to be shit, just because you're buying it because it says Terminator on it. And then there's the Fernandez Nomad. Is it Fernandez make it? And it's a sort of similar idea, apart from the speakers there or here. It's kind of a bit offset. It's kind of like a kidney shaped or something. Whereas this just looks like a normal guitar. But I mean, again, I've got my Martin backpacker or my blah 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 foldaway guitar. But why? This one, you know, there you go. Oh. And it takes up so much less case. You don't put it in a case because it's just... It doesn't really matter if it gets scratched, does it? Yep, so there you go. So I did actually get to use the vaporizer a wee bit there. And it's amazing. I think one of the big things that you got to look at... That's just deciding to adjust itself. Yes. Lost, yes. I mean, expectations. If you expect it to be pure shite, then the chances are it might not be. Although, no, I was not I wasn't expecting the vaporizer to be as good as it was. Although I wasn't expecting it to be shit. I was expecting it to be really good because I remember I played my pal Ivers one. And I thought that's fantastic, and then we went to the guy's house and tried it. He just played a couple of chords. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. And then I don't know. I didn't expect it to be good, but maybe just looking at it and going, oh, it's only 12 watts, and they're only like £200 new. Is it going to be good? Yeah. Is a wee stupid guitar. Get these at car boot sales all the time for a £5 or a tenner. I paid a £5 for this one. It had a chip out. It was just painted. I've just coloured in black with a Sharpie, and it looks great. And obviously, it had a short scale neck. I think these are actually the tuners off it as well. So I mean, the bridges on them I don't like, but I understand the manufacturing point of view. I think the modification I'm going to make, as I said, I'm going to put maybe even just keep the same bridge, but just drill through it but get ferrules, so it goes through like a Telecaster, just to get so there's more pushing down in the saddle, which should make a big difference to the tone. Even though, I mean, okay, it's really quiet in it. That's why. Okay. Rock on. Back to the vaporizer vids. I'll probably put one out before this anyway. Part of the Tone Wars. Yeah, the saga with my Tone t-shirt. Yeah. Rock on.